Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Where's my chat? I'm gonna move it up a little bit. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Can't see things. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, so let me go like this. Okay, cool. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Hello. I've been working all weekend, so I'm like still stuck in that work mindset. But, as you have noticed by the chat bubble thingies, I have switched some things up. I'm currently like phasing away from what's it called? From Stream Elements. And I am using other resources. I also changed like all of my alerts. Well, I didn't change them, but I switched them from Stream Elements to the Twitch alert thing. Hi, Garyon. Hi. So there's that. I also switched. I also added a Patreon command. Patreon. So you can see my Patreon stuff, which I'll be adding more to soon. What else? What else? Ooh, yesterday I got a sketch of the new web novel cover for Atrophy. That's really exciting. It looks really nice. I showed some friends because I was just too excited to not. But yeah. So there's that. I'm also thinking of making another trailer for Arc 2. It might take a different tone, but we'll see. We'll see. What else? What else? What else? I'm gonna try and have a YouTube video up by the end of the week, and it will be a book review of Heavenly Tyrant. Very excited for that. I'm very glad the author posted a video on how to pronounce the names, because I was close in some of them, but my Chinese is not the best, so I was glad for that. So that's kind of like why I was holding back on doing the review, but now I'm really excited to do it. I have lots to talk about. I'm gonna try to record at least 2 YouTube videos, so I have something for this week and next week. Of course, there's also my VOD YouTube channel, which has all the VODs that you can watch. And in case you don't get to catch the whole stream. Anything else? Anything else? I don't know. Sorry, I'm trying to, ugh. I was gonna take a nap before stream, but I got too busy like working on stuff, so now I am here. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get right into it. We'll go here. What is this? Oh, that was my throw stuff thing. Go here. I'll pause the music, pause, and then I'll boot up Yakuza. We are 8 chapters in, so we have about 8 left to go. On the schedule for this week is Yakuza today, and then Wednesday we have Writing Wednesday, and then on Friday we are trying out Marvel Rivals. That will be fun. That'll be real fun. And the thing is already up. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I'm trying it out. I don't know how we'll do, but everyone's playing it, so I might as well play it too. And I'm like, hold on, sorry, I get distracted. Hold on. I have to finish typing a message. Anyway, I don't play those types of games, like at all. I don't play multiplayer games in general besides Identity V. And even then, I like just started getting into it again. And this is like a totally different type of game. So I don't know if I'll do well or not. We'll see. 60 hours on it. It's a fun game. I hope so. And the type of like characters I like playing, like healing characters and stuff like that, they get bullied in these types of games, so. Oh, lately they're assholes. It's so sad. I need to find the guy who reported me. I'll start at the Mahjong parlor first. Ah, right. Do I have to play Mahjong? He's like, I'm not up for that. Hi. Hello. Excuse me. Oh, Tanimura-san. Here to play Mahjong again? Right, this is the police officer. The one who's bad at his job. Yeah. No, not today. Can you tell me which my throat hurts. Oh my god. Can you tell me which members were here in the shop when I was playing here yesterday? Well, there was one person I wasn't familiar with. They were probably someone who came here for the first time yesterday. The other members were those two regulars who are playing over there. Oh, that's right. I remember now. Thanks. You're very welcome. Did something happen? It's nothing. Don't worry about it. Well, alright. Hey, you got a minute? Oh, Tanimura-san. Back to do some more damage? No, I'm here to find a snitch, and it better not be you. Ooh, snitching. Snitch? What are you talking about? Save it. The chief said someone filed a complaint about yesterday. Come on, Tanimura-san. That wasn't the first time I lost a major chunk of change to you. If I was gonna snitch, I would have done it a long time ago. Plus, I don't even want to know what you'd do to me if I did. Right? For sure. I always earn back the cash you rolled me for. The damage you do would probably be a lot more permanent. You got that right. Oh, but what about the other guy at the table? I wouldn't be surprised if he did it. At that table. He rolled his hut. So where is he now? He's wait a second, what? Tanimura-san, tell me if I'm wrong, but this is an official police business, is it? So why should we give away this information for free? Oh boy, don't make me play Mahjong. No! What's it gonna be? Name your price. How about 2 silver plates? What? Oh. They're so gonna make me play Mahjong. Easiest ways to win are buy enough Mahjong sticks and exchange them for... Okay. Intermediate, advanced. Do you have like a beginner? Oh, there's a shiny. Shiny. Bro, I don't know how to... Hey. Yeah, 2 silver plates. No can do. Buy the sticks yourself. What do they use them for? Oh, the shop next door sells them? I'd rather do that than play Mahjong. You? No. Oh, maybe, this shop. Right here? Yeah, maybe. Although this looks like a... Oh, the pawn shop. Yeah, Ebisu-pan. Ebisu-pan is a really funny name. I'm here to buy. I have 60,000. Oh, heck yeah. Okay. Don't screw me over on this. Don't screw me over on this, please. It'll work. It'll be fine. The way I'd rather do this than actually play Mahjong. No, it won't be a bad ending. Yep. Here you go. Oh, the silver plates. Yeah, you never said anything about quality. Yep. I get you. I get you your plates. You tell me what you know. That was our agreement. You came up with it yourself. Man, you suck. I'll take it, but whatever. Should know better than to try to pull one over on you. His name's Ida. That's your guy. Can't say we know him that well, but we do see him around every so often. He didn't have a traditional job, but he works at the Shishifuku parking lot. The one over on... Yeah, no, the one somewhere else. Okay. He did say that's where he makes his mahjong money. Okay, thank you. He was super pissed after you left yesterday. Said you weren't going to get away with what you did and other crazy stuff. Pretty big dude. That's more than enough. Yeah, okay. I won. Okay, I think it's out. Yeah, it's over this way. Wait, do you sing karaoke? Please tell me you do. Because we didn't get to play karaoke last time. Because Saishima doesn't sing karaoke. Apparently. Wait, where am I going? This way. Karaoke. Yes. Yes. This is important. Okay. Yes. Sing. Ooh. Ooh. Let's do raindrops. Oh wait, he doesn't actually. I guess he doesn't sing either of these. Let's do lively interjections. Yeah, just sit there. Yeah. I'm not doing good. Yeah, okay, now we're getting the hang of it. Wait, no, we're not doing good. Got fast there for a second. What? Yeah, I thought he was going to sing too. Now I'm a little sad. I did not do good on that, but I tried my best. That's all that matters. No. I did way better with, what's his face? Akiyama. Yeah, let's quit. Let's get out of here. All right. Yappe. It's been really cold and dry here lately, and my skin and throat are suffering. I have to moisturize like every 5 minutes. I need cough drops too. All right, we're gonna fight someone. Hey, you. Oh, he said, hey, you. Okay, that was funny. I go by Mr. Try and Hit Me. The job's in the name. Hit me in under a minute and you get 50,000 yen. Hell no. Do I not look familiar to you? Yeah, I'm that mahjong monster. Bingo. Now look, I have some questions for you. Got a few moments? Nope, don't know nothing, and I definitely didn't write you out to your superior officer either, so don't you scurry back. Okay. Now's the part where I teach you a lesson for being a sore loser. Alright. Yep. Yeah, good luck with that. I'll be handing you your ass in under a minute. Game on. Alright, let's see what his fight style is. I feel like he's really quick. Wait, hold on, I'm confused. Oh, okay. Okay. Ow! Okay. The timing's a little weird. Ow! Ow. Can you get up? I like his fighting style though. The timing is a little weird. A little weird. But other than that, I like it. Everyone else got bored. How about it? Want to try again? Sorry for ratting you out. I won't do it again. Damn right you won't. Why'd you do it in the first place? Well, it's like this. I've been living as Mr. Trying to Hit Me for years here in Kamirocho. But there's this one scary looking guy in a gray suit who challenges me to a fight every year. Every year I end up losing. Each time I train harder before fighting him, but I can't seem to beat him. So I started playing mahjong to take my mind off it, but I end up getting hooked. Turns out I'm pretty damn good. And then you spoil the fun, and I lost a shitload of money. Well, that sounds like a you problem, bud. Yes, I picked up the phone and you snitched. I'm over it. I'm saying you're free to go. After all, it's not like you're still out to get me. Besides, I got a good few punches in. Let's just call it even. I won't do it again, says everyone who will definitely do it again. Exactly. Just watch it. Rat me out again and you won't get off so easy. Yes, sir. I wouldn't dream of it. Right. Well, at least I got to work out some aggression. I like this fighting style. It's unique. Incoming message from HQ. Report of fighting at Theater Square. Officers in the vicinity head to the crime scene. All right. That's to the left of where we were looking. Oh, they transported us here. Sorry. Shut up, bitch. You're the one that started this and now you just want to back out? You owe me money. All right, that's enough. I'll let this one slide if you disappear, and quick. Huh? You got a problem? Maybe I'll just kick your ass and collect what I deserve from you instead. Oh. You're not even gonna say, I'm the police. Okay, let's do a heat action. Can I... Wait, can I grab him and do a heat action? What are your heat actions? I want to do them. You're no joke. Who the hell are you anyways? I'm Tanimura, a detective here in Kamirojo. Cops. Watch your mouth and get the hell out of here. Arresting punks like you is a waste of my time. Someone throw a tomato at me? Hey. Thank you. He saved me. No tomato throwing. No worries. I was just passing by. Don't think too much of it. But you should watch your step from here on out. Yes, sir. I apologize for the trouble. Be more careful in the future. Bye-bye. I saw a shiny. Looks like you cleaned that up quite nicely. Oh, who are you? Okay, the thing I don't like about this so far is like each time we switch a character's point of view, we have to like relearn everything, and we have to go through like the same events of like learning to like take a picture to get more moves or fight someone strong, how to run. Kamirocho Guard. A volunteer group doing a community watch type thing. Do you know my name? Working in the area has made me really knowledgeable about the local police, and boy, how have I heard a lot about you. I'm almost certain it's nothing good. Nice work back there. Resolve the situation. Yeah, thank you for telling the police nice work, because it is their job. The group gives its all to maintain peace here, but with a pleasure district this big, even our combined efforts can't cover all the problems. Surprise. Mystery group trying to interfere. That's not good at all. Okay, lending you a hand. Just help out once in a while. Okay. Financially need pretty often. Yeah, that doesn't sound too bad. One thing bugs me. You said you guys are volunteers, right? That's right. Then what's this about funds I'm hearing? Yeah. Volunteer groups usually just barely scrape by. That is, unless they have some strong organization backing them. If you can't say, that's fine, I guess. Not like I have anything to lose. Okay. No issues with that. Okay. I think I leveled up. Did I level up? I see that shiny. Hey, Ma-chan. I've run into a little problem here. Do you mind stopping by the restaurant? Okay, be right there. Thanks. See you in a bit. Who's this guy? Easiest way to Zhao's place, homeland, is to cut in from East Taihei Boulevard. Shiny! Oh, God! Oh, Jesus Christ. How long have you been saving that? Huh? How long have you been waiting to torture me? Am I going the right way? I'm not. Okay. So I have 3. Combo, speed, boost, enhance, parry. It's better to like do the spirit stuff first. But I kind of want combo speed. And then we'll do the spirit stuff. Okay. Long enough. How many points do you have? That makes me scared. I'm scared. What's the most amount of points you can spend in one redeem? I forget what I have. Did I? That's it. No. It's right here. Oh, on karaoke time. You don't have that much, do you? You don't, right? I got a pearl. I can sell that for money. I got a silver plate. Wow. That's ironic. I can sell that for money. Not yet? Okay. I don't think anyone's redeemed it yet. Boop, boop, ba-doop. I don't either because I like spinning it on fart sounds. Just for that, I'm going to get rid of the fart sound. I'm getting rid of it. Doing lots of walking here. I like the shot though, it's really nice. Where are we going? I can do it and I will.
Oh, 景気はどうや。
またですか、谷村さん。
Ooh, you dirty cop.
今月2回目ですよ。月1回って約束でしょ。勘弁してくださいよ。
先週入った女、コリアンだろ。留学生か。就労ビザ持ってない外国人が日本で働くのはもちろんだけど、そうと知ってて雇うのも不法就労助長っつう犯罪なの知ってた。捕まれば3年以下の懲役、もしくは300万円以下の罰金。
勘弁してくださいよ。
店の女が警察に逃げ込めねえこと知ってて、いろいろとちょっかい出してるみたいじゃない、あんた。強姦罪も追加されたい。ま、いいや。ところでこの女見かけたら俺に連絡くれ。
誰ですかこれ。
教えない。警察の機密事項だから。とにかく見たらすぐに連絡くれよ。じゃあまた。
Ma-chan. That's so cute.
你们好吗？现在陪你们玩。
He's a multilingual. I'm guessing he speaks more than 2 languages.
啊，阿赞。
嗨，叫在里头吗？
是啊。
嫖被强制送还，孩子怎么办？是吗？啊，明白了，我来照顾孩子。啊，别担心。
また一人増えるのか。
あ、父親が韓国に送還されたらしい。
どうして？
先日その父親が
Oh.
交通事故を起こしてな。そのまま警察に引っ張られてオーバーステイがバレたらしい。
そりゃついてないな。
子供はまだ5歳。うちで面倒見るしかないだろうな。
その子供の養育費にでも回してくれ。
ギャンブルか、それともまた巻き上げてきたのか。
Oh, Tanimura.
どっちもかな。
まったくお前さんってやつは。
I'm so weak for these
ありがた
types.
いのは山々だけどな。
The ones that act
あ
all
まり無理すんなよ。
like egotistical and bad, but they're softies. So what kept you today? I thought you'd be here earlier. This detective, Suguichi-san, was grilling me back at the station, blah, 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 blah. Ha, police questioning police? That's ridiculous. Yeah, normally I wouldn't give a damn, but apparently this wasn't just one random punk killing another. It was significant enough to set the Tojo clan against itself. Tough guy with a wholesome heart? Yeah. Although why homicide cares so much about mob activity is beyond me. That's what organized crime's for. Oh my gosh, to be able to talk to those people. Either way, we don't need another gang war in this city. Oh, and it's not just the Tojo clan. I hear the Ueno Seiwa is involved. Ueno Seiwa? Wait, isn't that... Yeah, the same clan my dad was investigating after the Yoshiharu Ueno hit. Right around when he was murdered. Ooh, backstory. You think this is connected somehow? Can't say. All I know is the Ueno Seiwa clan's been quiet for 25 years. But now there's this shooting a week ago and suddenly they've gone into overdrive? Something's definitely up. Following this case could lead me to someone who knows the truth about who killed my dad. Still looking for that woman? Yeah, Yasuko Seijima. Her brother Taika is the one who carried out the hit on Ueno. She's been missing ever since that went down. And you really think this Yasuko Seijima knows why your father was killed? Maybe, maybe not. But the last thing written in his notebook was, meet with Yasuko Seijima. That has to mean something. So she might even be the last person who saw him alive. Moshi-mosh. Is this Tanimura? Yeah, speaking. This is Park, the manager at Midori. Midori? Oh right, the Korean salon. What do you want? Can you come here as soon as possible? Why, the police raiding the place or something? No, nothing like that. It's about that woman you've been looking for. Someone who looks just like her is here right now. Are you serious? That's why I'm calling. Hurry up before she leaves. Okay, be right there. Looks like we just got a lead. That killing set something in motion. Zhao-san. I think I found her. Wait, the woman we were just talking about? I don't know if it's really her, but I've got no reason to doubt it. I see. Then I suggest you be careful. You think? I'm serious. I accidentally kept holding A. Timing's too perfect. So you're saying she's involved somehow? Well, you're about to find out, aren't you? Now go. Find her before she disappears again. Right. Right. You off and running already, Ma-chan? Yep. Business as usual. You know how it is. Let us know if you need anything, okay? You know you're always welcome here. After all, we couldn't be called Homeland if we weren't your home away from home. That's sweet, Meihawa. Thank you. Hideout, yay! Oh, did I have anything in my inventory? No, just besides those. Okay. Let's go to that place. Let's do the left or the right? Oh. I don't know where it was. Yep. Gang fight report on East. Where am I? This is just an empty room. Oh. I saw that. Shiny. Okay, there we go. Okay. And I just somehow came out. Okay, there we go. Man, I'm getting way lost in this game. I didn't get ads lost in the other ones. The last stream we had, I got lost for like 20 minutes. All right. Thank you. Midori. Midori means green. Did I see something shining over here? I guess it was an illusion. Midori, hello. Can you get her for me? Complicated. Is she busy or something? What is it? I realize I'm actually in a pretty awkward position here. But not Mr. Shakedown, no. But if this woman really is the one you're looking for, then, yes? Could you maybe figure out a way to skip next month's inspection? Okay. I guess it wouldn't kill you to pay them, right, huh? Saying you need to give these girls the money they deserve. Don't just skim off the top because you think no one's watching, because someone is. Treat your workers with respect and make sure they earn a decent living. Do that and I'll see what I can do about the inspection. Yeah. Good job, Tanimura. See if this is her. He needs to not talk like that. He has a very nice voice.
ずっと探していたんですよ。
You're Yasuko Saijima, right? Huh? There's something I need to know about a shooting in 1985. Something only you can tell me. I don't know about any shooting. Hey, don't be so tense. You could trust me. Wink. Huh? I told you I don't know anything. Whoa, what's wrong? I'm one of the good guys here. That's debatable. Eh? We finally got you, you little hussy. Who says that anymore? You're Shibata's men. Probably his bottom rung goons by the look of it. What, you ditched the money grubber for this, dickhead? Not that I give a rat's ass. You still owe our boss a visit. Now you're coming with us. We wasted too much time on you already. Sorry, but the lady and I have business to discuss, so why don't you buzz off? Ah, here we go. Can I learn heat actions, please? Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. Jeez, what a waste of time. Did she run away? Yeah, she ran away. Hey, your people took her somewhere, didn't they? What do you care? She's probably popping bottles with the boss right now. I'm not reading that. I am not reading that. That's gross. Stop feeding me bullshit and tell me where she is. Tokyo Bay Docks. Were we fighting for that long? Nothing good knowing the boss. Ew. Everyone say ew. Wait, what's the closest? No, wait. This way? No. Which way? This way. Ew. Sir? I guess he would call me sir. I need a taxi, stat. Excuse me. Actually, let me put the stuff in here. Okay. Oop. Docs, please. Oh, should I prepare? Let's prepare a little more. I don't know how I'm gonna prepare a little more, but let's see. Oh, there was that, this. Where was it? It was on, was it Taihei Boulevard? I wish I could look back at the stuff that I got. Well, I don't know if I can fight more, but I definitely can bring some like healing items. I think the store I want to go to is this one over here. I don't know how, but they managed to make Kamurocho look gloomy and gray. I know. Hello. Two of these. And then... Do you not have other stuff that I need? Just two of those. I don't have a lot of money. I think the fighting was on Tenkaichi Street. I don't know. I can't remember. Get a move on if you don't. Why are you being rude to me? Jerks. Oh, Don Quixote might have what I need. Drink cooking oil, yes. No, Don Quixote, you're not supposed to let me down. Drama femme. Can I not put this on Tanimura? Is that not a thing I can do? Tanimura, put on the cat ears right now. Are you guys about to fight? Oh. Good looking. Oh, are we about to do model stuff? Why can't you? Yeah, Tanimura, put on the schoolgirl uniform. The whole point of this party? Oh, is it one of those matchmaking parties they have? Because those sound absolutely horrendous. You two talking about me? Truth is, we're on. Yep, it's a mixer. I knew it. And one of the guys didn't show. A mixer. Arranged everything. 3 guys, 3 girls, but now we're short 1 guy. Me. Are you sure? Good looking. Should we do it or should we focus on the main story? Yes or no? Oh god, my throat hurts. I wonder if we do have some cough drops. I think we should kind of focus on the story. I'll pass for now. For now. We could play the clump. No, don't get distracted. want someone to fight me. You look, are you guys fighting? Oh, here we go. The east has been resolved. Oh, that's awkward. I didn't know where it was, man. I want someone to fight at least. Oh, I should go to the, it's not the pawn store, it's like the doctor place. What is it called? Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go this way. The drug place. Pardon me. Hello. There's a giraffe in the background. Oh, nice. I didn't even notice that. Okay. Nutrients, larger health boost. Contact lenses. Bandages. Are you injured, sir? Oof. Domo. Actually, I should get a big... should get this. There we go. Now I think we're ready to go. Do. Someone fight me. Oh. Or not, I guess. I need to sneeze. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh, public intoxication and violence reported on Park Boulevard. Okay, where's that? Park Alley. East, Park Boulevard. Oh, sweet. Okay, so it'd be probably down this way. Oh, here we go. Hey. Wake up. Oh, he wants to fight now. This is what I wanted, though. I wanted to get into a fight. Yeah, violence. Beating up drunkards. You won't have to take me in. Oh, heck yeah, we earned back the money we got. I know, his face was really messed up. Alright, let's go ahead and leave. Club Gorgeousness. Let me in. Oh, sorry, bro. My bad. Let's just go. You know, let's just go straight into it. Oh, we're fighting right away. Okay. It's also not fun if I'm like, really, really, ooh, if I'm like really, really good and I just easily beat everyone. Ooh. Get out of here. Jerk. Oh, you have a knife. Oh. Oh, I blocked that. I blocked that. Oh, I didn't block that. I so totally blocked that. I'm gonna die. Oh wait, no, I didn't pick up the health stuff. Let me pick this up. I actually kind of need it. Okay, that's good. For abilities, let's drop kick. Ooh, that one's good. Ooh, that one's also good. I like how I said I needed health, but I'm not doing that. Phoenix Spirit. Golden Dragon Spirit. Okay, cool. Catching up on chat. Okay. Any other? Ooh, there's health over here. Oh, my throat. No, I almost got ran over. Where are those health things? There's somewhere over here. I guess they blocked it. Nice. Simple, but effective. I so totally blocked that, but whatever. Whatever you want to say. Look, I can do that too. Wait, how do I? Oh, I use my gun to taunt, I guess. Whoa, I leveled up again. Nice. Cool. There were more. It was somewhere over here. I don't know where it was. Thought it was over this way. In this little pocket? No. Hey! Why would they do that to me? Oh, it was over here. Hi, Taco. How are you doing? Wait, hold on. I want to try taunting. Great, that did nothing. I leveled up. Enhanced parry. Trying to, yeah, it's very cold. Oh. That's actually kind of nice. Wait. That's really nice. Do they have anything for should we do the arresting? Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Oh, yeah, let me get that real quick. Hold on. I could have just done that on my iPad, but I didn't. Okay. Let me grab this. Thank you. Nice. Okay. Not that way, this way. No. Where the... What the... Turn around this way? Oh, I think I need to go back. Where am I going? This way? Oh, great. Oh, I missed that. Look, I leveled up again. Cool. Okay, so it's like a quick time event that you've been arrested. Sorry. No, I shouldn't laugh. But it is kind of funny. No, wait, I want this. It's okay if I walk. Oh, I lose health every time I fall. Oopsies. That's awkward. Okay, let's do this. Okay. That's funny. White tiger spirit? What about it? Oh, I almost missed that. I almost missed that. That would have been real bad. Actually, no, I need that. Wait, where's the door? Which door? This door. Grab this one because this one has more. White tiger spirit. Ow! What the should have a gun, asshole. What the heck? Okay, let's use this. I am close to dead. Am I going the right way? Yes. Stop doing that. That's not cool, man. Guns in Yakuza suck. Yeah, they're not the best. They're really annoying. Oh, he's got a gun. I'm a cop. I have a gun too. Why don't I get like infinite? Get over here. Jerk. Oh God, Jesus. Okay. God. How many of you have guns? Oh, it's just you. Okay, get over here. I'm trying to do a heat action on him. Leave me alone. Ow! I'm so cool. I'm so cool. Oh, I missed. Oh. Can I do? Oh my God. Ooh. Hold on, guys. Guys, hold on. Guys, hold on to get a second. I remember that ship in the end of Yakuza 0 when at the end of, oh my God, I hated that. It was so, I had to replay that so many times because it was so hard to get through. Come here. Okay, how much do I have? I have 7. Okay, let's see here. I kind of want to get white energy and I could do this one and then I'll still have 3 left. Now let's do this one. We have 3. That'll help me in the long run because I'll be blocking. What? Okay. Y'all got me messed up. Seems like everything is going quite smoothly. Simply lay low for a while and wait till the storm blows over. Got that, alright? Yeah. Oh. 6th Chairman will never suspect we're hiding you here. Oh. Write the bargain for just 1 finger, wouldn't you say? Heh, you mean that little charade of yours? Nice touch. I'll be meeting with Katsuragi tomorrow afternoon to work out the finer details of the truce. I see, in the location, things are heating up. Kamurocho, someplace called Cafe Alps. But is Kamurocho really the right place to hold a meeting so out in the open? Tojo headquarters could easily discover the link between you two. Fine, Katsuragi and I have a perfectly good reason for being seen together. Excuse me. If anything, people will just assume I'm offering a further apology, or at least I can spin it that way. Of course. The unexpected headache she's caused. Let her go!
まさか
こんな女が今世間を騒がせている連続殺人事件の犯人だったとはな。
She's innocent.
どうして柴田組の関係者ばかりを狙ったんだ？
仕方なかったんです。1億なんて用意できると思わなかったから。
何おかしなこと言ってるんだ。なるほど。なかなかいい女だ。
No, stop it.
これなら男は色仕掛けに引っかかるってわけか。
柴田組長、もういいでしょう。この女が柴田組の関係者を殺して回っていたことは確かです。殺してしまいましょう。
Okay, what is your deal?
私の方で始末しておきます。
Like, why are you acting like this all of a sudden?
まあ待て。
組長。
俺はな、
I'm also
どうし
curious.
てこの女がうちの連中を殺して回ったのか知りたいんだよ。
It's not cold
そ
blood.
れに
This is
こ
perverted.
の女の色仕掛けがどこまでのもんか
Look
試してみ
away.
たいんじゃねえか。
Look away. Tony Burrow, you better get in there, man. Oh. Oh, I was getting worried. Because I was like, this is
もう用済みだ。
very weird for him.
どういうことだ。荒い。
心配しないでください。これも計画のうちなんですから。
Keikaku is Japanese for plan.
この女の仕事は終わってない。まだ必要なんですよ。我々にはね。
我々だと。
ええ、そうです。私と桂木さん、それにあと数名の協力者に。
I am still confused on why I did all of
お
this.
前、桂木の方に寝返ったのか。
柴田さん、勘違いしないでください。私は花から柴田組と組んでいるつもりはない。
Ooh. I don't feel bad. I'm not going to feel bad.
最後に教えといてあげます。25年前の事件、桂木さんと手を組んでいたのはあんただ。そうですよね。あの事件、あんたは自分の出世のため桂木さんに手を貸した。でもそれ以来、あんたは事件の真相をネタに桂木さんに見返りを求めすぎた。桂木さんにとって今のあんたは邪魔者でしかない。それじゃ。
警察だ。銃を捨てろ。
Oh. I don't think he's gonna chase after him as long as she's there.
おい、しっかりしろ。
He is not going to hang in there.
25年前、上野義治の襲撃事件を仕組んだのはあんただろうか。あの事件にはどんな裏があるんだ。おい柴田、しっかりしろ。くそ。
Done. Create new save. Chapter 2, The Perpetrator.
近くに警察がいるみたいだな。今夜は外には出ない方がいい。
この店は俺がアジトのように使ってる店だ。警察とは繋がってない。
Girl is always getting herself in trouble.
どうして
ん？
どうして私のことかくまうようなこと。
この店特製ブレンドの中国茶だ。その辺の適当な茶とは味が違う。とりあえずそれでも飲んで落ち着け。
Oh, sweet.
あなた警察の人なんでしょ？
そうだ。
さっき柴田が話していたこと聞いてたんでしょ？
ああ、聞いてた。
じゃあどうして？
簡単だ。俺は生活安全課の刑事だからだ。殺しは専門じゃない。
でも
それに、たとえあんたが殺人をやっていたとしても、俺にはあんたを捕まえることができないんだ。
Yeah, evidence.
殺人の証拠がないからな。だから証拠が揃うまではこうして身柄を拘束するしかない。まあ、任意同行に付き合ってるくらいに思っといてくれ。
どうして私の身柄を？あなたの目的は何なの？
俺はずっとあんたを探していた。10年前からずっとな。
I can
今
read.
から25年前、1985年4月30日。あんたは俺の親父と会う予定になっていた。この日の夜、
How old was she 25
親
years
父は荒
ago?
川から水死体となって発見された。
え？
冴島靖子さん、刑事としてじゃない、父親を殺された一人の男としてあんたに聞きたい。あの日、あんたと親父は何を話したんだ？教えてくれ。
Girl, you better tell him. You're his son. What did you and my dad talk about the day he was murdered? Nothing. I waited for him, but I never got to see him. He didn't show? No. I was supposed to meet him at a cafe in Kamurocho in the early afternoon. But he called me in the morning and asked me if we could reschedule for that evening. Did he say why? I don't remember exactly, but he said the hit was a setup. He said, "Your brother pulled the trigger on these men, but he wasn't the real perpetrator. I'll have proof of it soon, so hang tight." You mean someone else was involved? And he was onto their identity. Before your father hung up, he said the hit wasn't as simple as aggression between two Yakuza factions. He said it was part of a much greater plot, orchestrated by a powerful force. The last thing he told me was, "Take care of yourself." What did he mean by a powerful force? I never figured that out. But when your father never showed up, I got so... Oh, wait, I'm reading in the wrong ways. Hee. But when your father never showed up, I got so scared I left Kamurocho immediately. I see. Can't blame you. So your father was... You think because of his investigation of that case, somebody had... Looks like it. But what you just told me shed some new light on things. It did? I always thought the person who killed my dad was either from the Tojo or the Ueno Seiwa. But something just never seemed right. How so? A cop killing normally raises a firestorm in the force. An extra thorough investigation always follows, because it's one of our own. But my father's death was classified as accidental, even though it was clearly murder. That just doesn't happen. Do you think that powerful force your father mentioned was responsible for killing him? Possible. Maybe my old man came across something he wasn't meant to see. If that's true, this whole thing's even scarier than I thought. But back to you, Yasuko-san. Why come back to Kamurocho after 25 years? And why are you bumping off Shibata family members? Does that have something to do with your brother? Don't worry. Even if you tell me the truth, the police won't do a thing. None of my superiors are likely to believe a word I say anyway. Guess that comes in handy for once. Please, I need to know. I was contacted by a man named Katsuragi from the Ueno Seiwa clan. He told me he'd save my brother, but on the condition that I brought him 100 million yen, or agreed to murder. Katsuragi said that? How do you even get in touch with you? This was several months ago. I was living out in Chiba when I got the call from a man who claimed to be a detective in Tokyo. I know someone who could save your brother. How about I introduce you to him? He said this right out of the blue. Wait, this was someone from the police? Yes. Excuse me. And because it was the police, I never thought to question it. So I rushed here as fast as I could to meet this mystery person. Girl, you got catfished. He turned out to be Katsuragi. That's right. What did he say to you? He told me he was one of the victims of the shooting 25 years ago. And if he testified that my brother wasn't the killer, the case would have to be re-examined, which would mean he could be released. All for the price tag of 100 million yen or murder. Yes, but 100 million is such an impossible sum of money. So you chose murder. Why did Katsuragi send you after the people connected to the Shibata family? He didn't mention anything about them belonging to the Shibata family, but he did say eliminating certain individuals would help prove my brother's innocence. Certain individuals? Now I think he wanted to silence the people who knew the truth about what happened. I see.
なるほどな。
なるほど
こ
な。
れで一つ見えてきたな。25年前の事件、桂木と柴田は裏で繋がっていた。おそらく柴田は25年前のことを餌に今も桂木を脅していた。だから桂木と協力関係にあった新井に殺された。冴島大河が行った上野義治襲撃事件にはもっと裏があるはずだ。問題はどうしてあの新井が桂木と手を組んだのかだ。
まさかこの前起こったあの抗争事件ってのも？
ああ、最初から仕組まれたもんだった可能性が高い。あの25年前の事件と同じようにな。桂木に鎌をかけよう。え？新井ってやつの話じゃ、桂木はまだあんたを必要としている。あんたの身柄を餌にして交渉すれば、桂木も取り合わないわけにはいかない。
ちょっとまーちゃん。でもそれじゃこの人の身が。
何も本当に身柄を渡すわけじゃない。向こうはこの人の居場所が知りたいだけだ。身の安全は保証する。どうだ？それでいいだろう。
Just say yes, Curly.
どうして？
だってそれじゃお兄ちゃんは助からないから。私には桂木の証言が必要なの。
安子さん、あなたは桂木に脅迫されて命の危険を冒してまで殺人をする羽目になった。あの男が素直に証言するはずなんてない。それなのに今でも桂木の話信用するっていうのが。あんたの兄貴の無実は俺が証明する。それに俺もどうしても親父の殺された理由、あの事件の真相が知りたいんだ。
勝手ね。
え？
あなたに何ができるっていうの？全部自分のためだけじゃない。
Calling him out.
安子さん。
私にとってお兄ちゃんは全てだった。お兄ちゃんが
Don't talk about him in past tense. He's alive.
本当に大好きだった。25年前のあの日、お兄ちゃんがいなくなってから私はずっと一人だった。あなただけじゃないのよ、寂しい思いをしているのは。全員憎い。ヤクザも
Poor girl.
警察も桂木も真犯人なんてどうでもいい。私はもう一回お兄ちゃんに会いたい。それだけなの。
If she doesn't see her brother, oh my gosh, is it gonna be a repeat of Yakuza 0? Because I can't take that. Yasuko-san, please, I need your help. I swear I'll reunite you with your brother, and you won't have to kill anymore.
Ah.
He's not much different than you. All he wants is justice for the murder of the father he loved. Can you find it in your heart to help him? Please, look at me. All right, I'll help you. You will?
これは
カムロ中央パーキング。そこに止めてある車の鍵です。
Sorry, there's a bomb.
その車のトランクの中に
So she hasn't done anything with it yet.
1億円入っています。
え
私は葛城の命令に従って罪を犯しました。最初は一人か二人殺せばいいと思ってた。けど葛城の要求は止まらなかった。
That's how they get ya.
次から次へ人を殺すよう私に命令してきた。でも私はもう人を殺せなかった。殺したくなかった。だから借りたんです。
誰にですか？
スカイファイナンスの秋山さんって方に借りました。
スカイファイナンス。
そのお金はあなたに預けます。もし葛城がその1億円で兄の無実を証言してくれると言ったら、そのお金を渡してください。
それはわかるんですが、どうして私に？
私は今から沖縄に行きます。
今からですか？
You know who's in Okinawa.
死刑執行日なんです。
Oh, girl. I have news for you.
東京刑務所の刑務官の方が教えてくれました。
お兄さん、今沖縄の刑務所に。
This is going to be so similar to Yakuza 0. I have a feeling they're not going to reunite until one of them is dying.
多分私が25年間毎日面会に通い続けたからですね。結局一度も会えませんでしたけど。
Aww.
25年間毎日。
もう時間がないんです。だからもし死刑執行が止められなかった時は、せめてお兄ちゃんの近くにいたい。私は谷村さんを信じるしかありません。どうか兄のことよろしくお願いします。
Well, there has to be rumors, there has to be rumors that he escaped, right? Because the police were already everywhere. Speaking Tagalog. You wouldn't happen to speak English as well, would you? Speaking Tagalog. It's no use. She doesn't understand a word I say. Hey there, officer. Oh, Tanimura-san. You couldn't have come at a better time. Something wrong? No, but it sounds like this woman is looking for someone, but she can't speak Japanese, so I'm not really sure what to do. Hey? Trying to get her to follow me back to the station so we can have an interpreter help us, but she doesn't seem keen on leaving this spot. I see. Yep. She's like, what are you guys talking about? Well then, I'm a police officer. You can talk to me about whatever it is you're having trouble with. Great! I finally found someone I can actually converse with. My name is Tanimura. I'm with the Tokyo Metro Police Department. Who are you? I'm Nair. This is my first trip to Japan and I still haven't got my bearings quite yet. Nair. Nice to meet you. I'm guessing you're from Southeast Asia? Anyways, they're looking for someone, right? That's right. Well, actually, I'm a detective too. You? A detective? That's right. I followed a criminal to Japan to bring him to justice. Can you just do that? Do the Japanese police know what you're up to here? I see a shiny. I contacted the Japanese police before I left. They're supposed to be helping. But once I got here, everyone seemed so busy. No one would help me with my investigation. Oh, I see. Things a bit of a mess right now, so I bet not everyone knows you're even here. I was also told I would be giving an interpreter. I'm guessing you don't get that either? I apologize for the inconvenience. It's not your fault. I'm just happy to finally talk to someone I can understand. Glad to be of assistance. But I have a little dilemma. We have permission to investigate, but we don't have the authority to make arrests. In Japan, only the Japanese police are allowed to make arrests. You've got a point there, but it's not our investigation. We can't make an arrest without sufficient evidence. There is evidence. That's why my colleagues and I came to Japan. Colleagues, they're out at the embassy now. Tanimura-san, would you come with me for a bit? No! The sparkly... What is this place? We don't have cell phones that work in Japan right now, so this is our rendezvous point. That's why you couldn't follow that officer to the police station. The criminal we're seeking won't be in Japan for long, so we have to investigate quickly along with the embassy and Japanese police. Please help us? I beg of you, we'll take care of an investigation, but we need you to come along to make the arrest. Alright, I'll help. By the way, I have no problem arresting the criminal, but you guys don't have guns, right? Isn't that dangerous? I don't usually carry a gun. A police officer's job is to capture criminals, not kill them. That's true, you've done a good job at staying alive. Don't you have dangerous cases? I may not look it, but I pack a pretty strong punch, stronger than most gangs here. Oh, nice. I can't win a head-on slugfest with men, though. I use their own strength against them, like kicking them in the balls. Oh. Sparring? So this is a, thing. Have you heard of Revelations? Yep. Witnessing certain events throughout the city. Okay. So now... Perfect shot. Okay. We have a girl asking for donations in the hotel district. Votes there are too poor. Flirty couple tries their hand at a UFO catcher in Club Sagan Theater Square. Danger near West Park. Okay, we'll see which one we're close to. I don't know what level I'm at. Attempted coercion reported at an adult entertainment shop on East Taihei Boulevard. Gotta help my dad. I can't right now. Oh, they took him away? Oh. I'm going to. Oh, I guess I'm being forced into this. Oh, it's been taken care of. Jerks. Wait, where was he taken? The outskirts of Senryo Avenue. Oh, I guess we'll just keep going straight. Dang it. Wait, no, over one more. Wait, no. I'm confused. What? What? Oh, I guess that's for the other thing. Said he was taken to the outskirts. Oh, there he is. I don't know any Nadine. Keep your filthy hands away from me. Are you guys dumb? Okay, we're gonna fight you. Yeah, let's see what you guys got. I like that he always keeps his earpiece in. That's a nice little detail. Whoa! Whoa! Did you guys see that? It's so cool! Nice. Nice. I forgot what I upgraded for me to do that, but that was cool.
Yeah.
Nope. Nadine, she came here from the Philippines to seek better financial opportunities. Oh, and they're trying to chase her down. Oh. Responsible for bringing... okay.
Yeah.
One method you could try. Fortune teller. I will not be doing that, but thank you. So where are we now? I don't think we're necessarily close to any place they said. But I do kind of want to check it out because they give stuff for it. So fun. Hotel District, Theater Square, and West Park. I guess if we go all the way back here, we'll be near West Park, right? Yeah. So let's just go all the way back, and then we'll make our way in. Boop-a-doo-doo. Run, run, run. Can't sprint in this game like in other games. Although I guess to sprint in the other games it was to get away from Majima. I forget who we were looking for in West Park though. Why all the bicycles? Like this? Oh, do I actually like need to go back in there? I don't think I really have access to the sewers. There are a lot of... This? Oh. Yep. Can I take a picture, please? Aw, man. I'll defeat you. Oh. Woo! That was a close one. Nice. Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, that was... Oh, nice. Ooh, thank you, money. The bath facility on Park Boulevard. Oh, things laying around. Yeah. I'm trying. Maybe it's down here more? I'm so confused. Oh, there we go.
あれは
おっと、
すみません。
ええじゃねえかこのガキ。どうしてくれんだ。
Oh. Amazing. He got clocked hard when he was off guard. Perfect.
我典型を得たり
Ooh. Oh. Nice. Okay, and then they said there was something on Park Boulevard. Okay, so I was here anyway. It must have been these people over here. Is it you? Peeping Tom? Right. Where are you, Peeping Tom? Eek, it's the pervert again. Oh, we went back to the scene of the crime. Thank you for not... Okay, well, I guess they still have to chase him down. Get back here. I missed. Got him. Oh! Oh, oh, what the heck? That was so difficult. I missed that. Got him.
終わりだな
Oh my goodness, that quick time killed me. Thank you. All right. The next one was Hotel District and Theater Square. So which one are we? I think we're closer to Hotel District, right? Yeah. Where the heck? All right. And what was it at the Hotel District? It was girl asking for donations. Yeah, I guess we'll go up here first. See if we can... Oh! No? Do I just need to get the right angle? There we go.
あれは
あれは。
ねえやな。なんか入ってる。入ってる。ちょっと待て。
Oh, wow.
取った
500 yen.
ありがとうございました。こちらお使いください。
頑張ってください。
Backwards between the legs. Let's do this one.
ひらめいた。
Look at him scribbling in his little notebook.
いや、違うか。
Nothing happened. Okay, then I think, yeah. Go here and then go down. I think the Sega place is pretty close to here. I think. Yeah. Just down here. I think it was like a couple or something. I think we need to go in. Yeah.
取れないね。
しょよし、今度こそ。
いいんじゃないいいんじゃない。何これ。
Why is it doing that?
あれ、何？え？
Oh. Look at it fly. Oh.
やったー。
おお、取れた。
I wonder if I could do that too. Why do I feel like this isn't going to give me a revelation?
ひらめいた。
Okay.
いや、違うか。
He's just stupid. What do they have in there for today? Ooh, I want one of these dudes. Last time I collected all the super monkey ball ones.
よく狙ってくれ。どこを狙うかがポイントです。どうします。うまく狙えましたか。
I should go for the guy right next to the thing.
自動で動きます。
We'll try that. We'll try to knock him over with the one in the bottom middle.
よく狙ってください。次はどこを狙いますか。どうします。うまく
See
狙
if
え
that
ま
works.
したか。
Oh.
自動で動きます。
Oh. Ah. I guess we'll try knocking one forward.
よく狙ってください。どうします。
There.
うまく狙えましたか。
man. Oh! Oh, dang it. I hate these claw machines so much, but they're fun. I'm decently okay-ish at them. There. I'm trying to hit the back of his head to get him to fall in. Oh my god. I don't even know what I'm doing at this point. I didn't move far enough, I don't think. Wow. Great job. Going for the one at the very front. Oh. Okay, well, cool. Okay, one more time. Ah! All the ones I want are knocked down except for one. Oh. Son of a biscuit. It's fine. It's fine. We'll go back as far as we can. I think we should give up. We're giving up. Get out of here. Get out of here. All right, now to actually do what we need. Oh, let me talk to that one dude. Where is he? Oh, he's over here. Oh, wait. Okay. So you want me to walk instead of run? Walk, don't run. Honestly, don't mind either way. So is that he? Okay, so it looks like it's automatically unlocked. Disturbance reported at an adult entertainment shop on West Taihei Boulevard. All nearby units report. Oh, I'm so gonna regret. Here? Minimap went away again. Other way. I think I accidentally clicked the minimap away. Hey, what's going on here? Give it a rest. Oh, so you're not even giving it a reason. Okay. Why do you have so much health? Okay, that wasn't as difficult as I thought. It's okay. Ooh, I got a nice amount that time. Okay, let's go down. Better apologize for walking around like a normal person. I was waiting for him to get up, but he was taking an awfully long time. Yep. Thank you. And insulin. That's funny. There. Now, where do I go? 100 Kamurocho Central Parking Lot. Is that where I am now? Oh, I need to go. Where the heck did I come from? Oh no, this is where I need to go, I think. Yeah. I guess I just need to find the car. I don't know which one it is though. Car. Is there like a hint? Oh no, you'll just have to check each car. I didn't know there are taxis down here. Oh. Does the key fit? No. Okay, so I guess it's the ones with their things, with their trunks pointing out. Oh! Lucky! Oh god. I'm guessing the easiest way is to... I don't know. I don't know what the easiest way is. Moshi mosh. Tanimura desu. Tanimura-san, right? Yeah, that's me. And you are? That's not important. Let's cut to the chase. You want info on Katsuragi, don't you? Ah, the florist. Is that you? Don't have anywhere else to turn right now, do you? Okay. Smart man. Okay, you'll be receiving a message from me shortly. Open it up, read it, and follow the instructions. Best of luck. I'm not good at following instructions, really. An informant awaits you where this site can be seen. Get over there on the double. Where am I? Shiny. Okay, so I just will go to the stupid locker. Oop. Ooh, heck yeah. That's actually good. So I can wear these. Why do I have band-aids on? Or why do I have band-aids? You know what? Not gonna question it. Okay, let's just go up. I am normal. go through here. I am normal. I don't know where it is necessarily. Up here. But we could find it. Oh, we found it. Yeah, lucky. We got lucky twice in a row. Are you Tanimura-san? That I am. You're the one who called. Yeah. I don't know anything about a call. My boss just told me to come here and give this to you. Here, take it. Oh, flowers. Thank you. What's this for? Maybe you got a secret admirer? Either way, it's yours now. Aw, thank you. Does it have a note? Yep. Well done, Gumshoe. Take after your papa more than I expected. Uh-oh, he mentioned our father. I suppose I should uphold my end of the bargain. You'll be getting a call from Katsuragi soon. What you do next is up to you. Just see that you don't waste this chance. もしもし、谷村です。
カムロ署の谷村さんですね。どうして私に連絡を？
あんたと取引がしたい。
取引？
実は今、冴島靖子を俺が預かっている。警察にはまだ報告していない。あくまで俺が身柄を拘束している状態だ。
なるほど。
あんたが冴島靖子を使って柴田組の連中を殺すよう命じていたことは分かっている。もちろん25年前の事件のこともな。あんたはまだ冴島靖子が必要なはずだ。違うか？
それで私にどうしろと？
俺は25年前の事件を追っている。事件を担当した谷村という刑事が死んだ。
Yeah, why do you have to die?
それが知りたい。
もしかして息子さんですか？あの刑事さんの。
あんたが取引に応じてくれれば冴島靖子の身柄は渡す。どうだ？25年前の真相を俺に教えてくれないか？
条件があります。
条件？
私としても刑事さんであるあなたに迂闊なことは話せない。それに電話ではあなたが冴島靖子の身柄を拘束しているという確認もできない。あなたが冴島靖子とつながっているという証拠を見せてください。
分かった。1億持っていこう。それでどうだ
？1億？
ああ。
I have 100
あんたが
million.
靖子さんに要求した1億だ。その金が今俺の手元にある。靖子さんが用意したものだ。取引の際その金を持っていく。俺に会うのはその金を確認してからで構わない。
Yeah, how's that sound?
どうだ
？1億ですか。1階の刑事さんがダミーとして集められる金額じゃない。いいでしょう。お会いしましょう。
明日でどうだ？
構いません。場所は
カムロ町ミレニアムタワーの前で17時。
どうやら頭のいい方のようだ。一番人通りの多い場所と時間。公衆の面前なら襲われる危険も少ない。いいでしょう。5時、ミレニアムタワー前。先に使いの者に1億を確認させます。それでもいいですか？
Yes.
構わない。
では明日。
So I'm guessing I have to go back to the place. Yeah. Can I, like, go? I can. Wait, hold on. Oopsies. Go across. Go across again. And then just go across twice. Here, and then here. And then no, that's wrong. Where is it? Yeah, that was wrong. Go back over here. Go over here, but don't go down. The... Oh, you're that detective lady. Go here. I think this will get me like as close to the place as we can be. Oop. Yeah, sweet. I'm so smart. Hip, hip, eh. The... Oh, it's a pig head. Is this not where I needed to be? Wait, hold on. Let's try going up the stairs. Here. The... Eh. Where am I? Okay. What's in here? This way. Oops. Didn't mean to press that. This way. This way. Down. Here. Okay. Goodness. This place is like a maze. Ah, Machan, how'd it go? You find the briefcase? Yeah, it took me long enough. Sure wish I'd thought to ask Yasuko-san what her car looked like before she left. Anyway, I got a call from Katsuragi not long after that. We set up a meeting tomorrow. Really? You did? Wow, that's quite the breakthrough. I'm sure he's up to something, though. You better be prepared. I will be. In the meantime, you mind holding on to this briefcase for me? Is he gonna get murdered? I want to save just in case. I'll stay here. It'll also allow me to heal from the punches that I've taken, which is many. March 9th, the next day. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Just exit quickly through here. I'll go this way. Turn, turn, turn. Nice. We're walking. Here we go. Cutscene. You don't look suspicious at all. Behind you!
お待たせしました。
あんたが桂木?
You look like a villain.
はい。
I wonder if people are like, well, I look like a villain, so I might as well be one. How long have you been here? Since long before you arrived. I'd wager you saw me in the crowd, but didn't recognize me. It tells me you don't have much of a file on me. A relief, really. Now, what will it be? Shall we proceed with the deal? No, let's walk and talk. Here? Around. Maybe it'll help jog your memory, you know? I'm sure you have so much to tell. You really have thought this through. A moving target is a lot harder to hit. Not to mention, I thought you'd appreciate a nice long stroll through Tojo clan turf. How thoughtful of you. And lead the way, Tanemura-san.
ではそろそろ本題に入りましょう。谷村さん、あなたはお父さんの死の真相が知りたいと、
はい、
そうおっしゃってましたね。
ああ、そうだ。俺の親父の死、あれは25年前の上野義治襲撃事件に関係しているんじゃないのか。
私は回りくどい交渉は好きじゃありません。はっきり言いましょう。違います。
違うだと。今さら何を言ってるんだ。俺は柴田が新井に殺された時現場にいたんだ。あんたと柴田が25年前の事件で繋がっていたことは分かってる。親父はあの事件があんたと柴田の仕組んだものだということに気がつき、そのことが原因で殺されたんだ。そうだろ。
確かに谷村さん、あなたのお父さんはあの襲撃事件に柴田、そして私が関係していたことは突き止めていました。25年前のあの事件は私と柴田が描いた絵です。私はあの日のあの時間、冴島大河が一人で襲撃に来ることを知っていた。
ちょっと待て。確か25年前のあの事件、あんたは被害者の一人だったはずだ。どうして生き残ることができたんだ。
だから知っていたと言ったでしょう。私は事前に冴島がどうやって襲撃してくるかも知っていた。
防弾チョッキか。
まあそんなところです。私はあらかじめ備えをしていた。だから助かることができた。それまでです。
つまりあんたは柴田と共謀し、自分の組織の幹部を抗争に見せかけて殺させるような。自らが死ぬ可能性がある。
That's dirty.
当時私は22歳、柴田さんは30歳。若い2人が縦割りの組織で成り上がるにはそうする必要があったんです。
あんたは事件の後、まんまと上野清和会の若頭に就任。柴田も道場会で直系へと昇格した。あんたたちの計画が成功したというわけか。
ええ、まあそうなります。
やけにあっさり話すんだな。
もうあれから25年が経ちます。今この事実が警察に伝わったところで私が罪に問われることはない。
確かにあんたの罪はもう時効だ。だが極道社会ではそれは通じないだろう。だからあんたは安子さんを使って柴田組の関係者を殺させ、新井に指示して柴田を殺した。そういうことか。
まあそういうことですね。
あくまで自分の犯行ではないというつもりか。まあいい。話を戻そう。25年前、俺の親父はなぜ殺される必要があった。その理由を教えてもらおう。
あなたのお父さん。
That girl's walking in circles, but that is okay.
25年前の事件の裏に私と柴田が動いていたことを突き止めた。だがその捜査の過程でもっと大きなものを発見してしまったんです。
それは何なんだ。
不正です。あなたのお父さんは事件の捜査をしていくうちに
Yep, that's usually what gets them.
不正の事実を知ってしまったんですよ。
警察内部の不正だと。
25年前の事件、あの事件は警察によって捜査されたものだったんです。冴島大河ではない事件の真犯人を隠すためのね。
真犯人だと。
ええ、そうです。あの事件、冴島大河は襲撃を行った。でも真の犯人は別にもう一人いるんです。
あんたが安子さんに知っていると言った真犯人ってのはそいつのことなんだな。
あなたのお父さんはその真犯人の正体と真犯人を知りながらもそれをもみ消した警察の不正を知ってしまった。だから殺されたんですよ。
誰なんだ親父を殺したやつってのは。その真犯人ってのは。
Something's about to happen. I feel like he's about to get shot.
こんな時間に外を歩いたのは久しぶりだ。
おい答えろ。 桂木。
その前に取引です。冴島
Why is
康
the
子さんの
smoke
居場所
pink?
を教えてもらいましょうか。
Okinawa. Say she's in Okinawa. Technically, you're not lying.
何の真似です？
この1億はくれてやる。だから安子さんのことは見逃してやってくれ。彼女は沖縄へ行った。冴島大河に会うためにな。何がおかしい？彼女の役目はもう終わったはずだ。
もう手遅れなんですよ。冴島康子もお前も。
He's got a gun! I think. Someone's got a gun. Oh, there's no one here. A bunch of burly men are about to run out. And then I have to fight them all.
これはどういうことだ？
There they are. Burly men.
冴島康子さんは後で始末します。だがまずはあなただ。
桂木貴様！
最後に教えてあげますよ。25年前の事件、18人殺した真犯人、あれね。俺なんだよ。
Plot twist! What?
まだ話は終わってないぞ。
ああ、そうだ。あなたが通っている故郷って店。
No!
あの店のご主人にもついでに消えてもらいますんで。
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
急いで行かないと殺されちゃいますよ。ご主人も可愛らしい中国人のお嬢さんもね。
貴様！
それじゃ。
おい！俺の親父を殺したのもお前なのか？おい、答えろ！桂木！
さあ、どうだか。
It's the popo. Are you here to cover my back, hopefully?
そこまでだ。
Please?
杉内さん。
Don't be dirty, Suguichi-san.
いつも入り浸ってる店の連中が危ないんだろ。
はい。
お前ら全員捜査一課でまとめて面倒見てやる。覚悟しろ。
Okay, we didn't have to fight a lot. I'm hoping no one is dead. Oh, no, we do have to fight. Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah, the ultimate weapon. Okay, that's enough. I don't know where I'm going. Well, I guess I go where these dudes are. Can I just like run away from them? Or will it just, okay. I don't have to fight all of them. I can just kind of run. We're going, where are we going? Ooh, I leveled up. Sweet. I won't hit him a bunch of times. I know it's a very durable briefcase. I guess let's wait. The money! Whoa! Get arrested, punk. Now give me your sword. Ow. Oh. Break his arm. Ouchies. Oh. Oh, owie. That hurt. Okay, come here. What the? Oh, I no one saw that. Butter! Chase scene. Oh, it's one of those. Why isn't it? Mata! You still chasing? Whoa! Do I still have the bottle? Please tell me yes. Oh, I missed! Oopsies, that's awkward. Oh, that's awkward. Oh, that's awkward. Oh my god! What is happening? Okay. Oh, fine. This is fine, I guess. Jesus! I don't know what was happening there. Sorry, but you'll have to try harder than that. Going somewhere. There's a shiny right there that I really want. Oop, this dude has a sword, but I have a briefcase. that I can't pick up. Cool. Ow! Don't freaking stab people. Jerk. Anyway. Go, Tanimura, go. Please don't make me run there, because I will get confused. This is bad. How do I jump? That was how. Ow! Oh god, I'm bad at this. Wait, how do I jump? I'm confused. Hold on. I'm gonna look at the controls. Wait, hold on. It would be in memos. Chase battles. Fleeing. Pursuing. Fleeing. Jump with A. Well, that's what I've been doing, but... Oh, oh right, I only have a limited amount of heat actions. Ah! Woo! That was a close one, you guys. Scram. Hold it right there. Oh, Xana. Oi! Xana. Okay, let's fight. Let's fight. You guys need to stop carrying swords around. Whoa, that's unfair. I guess I'm bashing you over the head with my sword. Oh, he has brass knuckles. That's unfair. That's not the heat action I wanted to do, but okay. Break his arm. Yeah, I leveled up. Get wrecked, bozos. Where's my... I need my, my remote control thingy to turn on my light, but I don't know where it went. What? Where could it have possibly gone? You know what? It's fine. Just a minute. Oh. Goodness, you're safe. Chief? Chief, what are you doing here? Chief, do you know? Oh. Oh, we're about to... Oh, I didn't level him up. Door to the Truth, Chapter 3. What? You mean someone else killed those 18 men? Yep. Excuse me. The Ueno Seiwa officers were taken out by one of their own, Katsuragi. And Yasuka Seijima's brother is innocent? Well, he did carry out the attack, so he's far from innocent. But there's a big difference in sentencing for murder and attempted murder. Was this Katsuragi also responsible for killing your father? I couldn't get an answer out of him. I see. Either way, Tanimura-kun, that stunt you pulled had me worried half to death. I got a call from Suguichi and Kun in Homicide telling me you were trying to contact the Ueno Seiwa. So I took it upon myself to search for you before you wound up in danger, which ended up happening anyway. Ah, so that's why you're here. Tanimura-kun, you must have some inclination as to how dangerous the Ueno Seiwa clan is right now. Are you even aware of the gravity of the situation? More or less. Well, at least this Katsuragi seems to know something about your father's killer. Sounds like progress. Yep. Why the long face? He said he's gonna take care of you. Yeah, there's also that. The police covered up the truth. They knew the real killer was Katsuragi, but they pinned it all on Saejima. Huh? What? None of this rings a bell, Chief? No, I'm not in Homicide, and back then I was as low on the totem pole as it gets. Fair enough. So were the police trying to protect Katsuragi? If so, why? Who knows? But they obviously couldn't let a scandal like that go public, so they killed him. I just thought of something. Maybe we could dig up something. Yeah, but I don't know. The scandal graveyard. So every police scandal ends up there in the archive room. Okay. So, yep. Okay. I never planned on asking. I mean, we're dealing with someone who can cover up mass murder. Yeah, that's true. Huh? Yeah, we gotta stick together. Let me drag you into this. Where did I put this stupid remote? Did it fall? I don't think so. I don't think so. Did I place it somewhere? There's literally only... Oh, there it is. I just didn't lift my iPad all the way. Linked. Yay! Okay. On second thought, I want to level up my abilities first. So, I can get this, but I can also get this. Quick step. Okay. What do we have for 3? I don't think that's worth it. 2. Quick step strike. Grab an enemy to lock the arm. Roll after a quick step to evade attacks. Enhance quick step, enhance grabs, enhance throw. I don't know. Anything in 1? Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that too. Okay. Am I ready? Yeah, I'm ready. I have a boo-boo. Wait. That? Oh, it just stays in my inventory, I guess. Okay, let's go. I'm all set. Very well, sir. Well, Examine. Nope. Examine. Not it. Examine. Why is this even in here? Hey, I think I found it. Ooh, you found it. The assault on Yoshiharu Ueno. 1. Case overview. The attempt on Yoshiharu Ueno's life was carried out April 21st in 1985. Shortly after 12 noon that day, a lone gunman armed with 6 revolvers burst into a ramen shop located in Tokyo's Suganami ward. Yoshiharu Ueno, chairman of the Ueno Seiwa clan, was one of the 20 men shot inside and one of the 2 who survived. The gunman was one Taigi Seijima, a 20-year-old member of the Tojo clan. So he was 20, so he's 45 now. His sister must be in her 30s, as her late 30s, mid to late 30s. On the day of the incident, Ueno had just been released after serving a 2-year prison term. With him were several top members of his clan. This report is missing something, just like Katsuragi said. According to him, he should be the one listed as killer. 2. Investigation. Tokyo Metropolitan... Why does he look uncanny? The Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department formed a special investigation team led by detectives Tagi Tanimura and Junji... Suguichi. I knew it. Dad and Suguichi? They worked on the case together? I haven't heard it. Yeah. I had a feeling that would be it. More than I expected. Let's go. Yep. Open the door. Oh no, there's people waiting here to beat us up. Chief, get out of here. Oh. Okay. Yep, I want to do that. Suguichi and I... Suspicious male reported stalking a woman in Nakamichi Alley. Okay, I can do that. Pink Alley, Pink Street, North Pink Street. Where is that? Oh. Hey, no stalking here. Stalker. Here we are. Hey. No, that's gross. No, you will not pick up chicks however you like. That's not how it works. Ooh. Whoa, did you guys see that? I timed that perfectly. Nice. Thank you. Do you think I could get your phone number? Oh, I'm really not allowed to do that. Are you sure? Giggle, giggle. What? I used to be able to buy from these. What kind of place is this? Why is my thing so zoomed in? Okay, there we go. I feel like I'm going the very wrong way. No, we're fine. Excuse me. Pardon me. Okay. Now to not get lost this time. Watch me get lost. Did I go the right way? Yeah, I did. Nice. Oh wait, no, this is that lady. Dang it. Oh look, we went the right way. Just pretend that I went the right way. How'd the thing go? You know, well, not great. A lot of stuff I already knew, plus one new piece of info. Suguichi was investigating a case along with my dad. Yep. I've talked to him more times than I care to remember, but he never once mentioned being on the case with my dad. Starting to believe someone on the force did my father in. Yeah. Yeah, go to sleep, Machan. Sleepy time. Chapter 4, A Detective's Honor. So that's 12 chapters we've done now. I think we only have 4 more. I think we're almost done with the game. Not yet. There's something I need to do first. What? Don't tell me you're taking off with the money. Yeah, I'm totally skipping town. Actually, I'm taking it back to it. Yeah, we're going to... Oh, we're going to be Akiyama! Yeah, heck yeah. Bye, Machan. Have a good day. Oh, I'll try. See you later. I don't like that. Is she gonna die? Am I gonna come back and their place is gonna be gone? Let's go this way. Sky Finance. Excuse me. Excuse me, people. Jesus Christ. Okay, I think it's on the very, far side. Boop-a-doo-doo-boop-boo. Then we turn down here. Then we gotta go through the back alley. Huh. The Sky Finance is here all along. I missed Akiyama. No one's here. Great. Don't even remember. Oh, they're both idiots. Okay, cool.
この前の
そうか。あんたが安子さんに金を貸した男だったのか。
安子安子ってリリちゃんのこと？どうしてあんたリリちゃんの名前を？
So that's her story. She didn't tell you any of this? Nope, never asked. I figured it was something serious, but dang. Borrowing enough to put 100 millionaires in debt, all to save your wrongfully accused brother on death row. I just wish she'd have come to me earlier and have saved her from going down a dark path. Well, now that Katsuragi's broken his promise, we can at least put the money issue to rest. Yeah. Oh, nope. Take the money, Akiyama. Okay, explanation please. Regardless of how things went down, I lent that money to her. Isn't it only right that she be the one to return it? She's not coming back, bro. Detective, I have so much money, I hardly know what to do with it. I'm not interested in making more. As for the 100 million, I couldn't give a rat's ass if I never saw it again. Give it to me, please. Why? You see, I only lend money to people I feel are worth investing in. That way I can see how my loan affects their life. And that's... I can't talk. And that's a much more meaningful reward than seeing numbers on a spreadsheet. Not sure I understand your... Yeah, me too, Tanimura. This dude's crazy. Where is she anyway? Okinawa. Her brother transferred to a prison there a few days ago. She said she wanted to be near him on his execution date. I knew she was a keeper. What? Did I not mention? I fell for her. Yeah, you did. What, like, in love? Yeah, 100 million sounds good right now. Exactly. So I'd really like to see her again. Unfortunately, that money's the only connection between us now. If I take it back from you, you wouldn't, yeah. Some say love lasts only as long as the money. Heh, ain't that the truth? Pretty sad, huh? Almost as sad as this Arai-san business. Arai? 1 second. Moshimoshi, Akiyama desu.
もしもし。
Oh, Kido-chan. How you been? Find Arai? I know where he is. What? Mishima? You mean the Ueno-gun without a bullet in his head? Uh-huh. Yeah. Alright. Okay, leave it to me. I'll get back to you. Bye. Black screen. Who was that? I heard something about finding Arai. That was Kido, Arai's right-hand man. What? I might as well tell you now. I'm helping Kido find his boss, Arai. He's a good kid. Why? Because I can't afford to lose Arai-san. Shibata's boys are going nuts trying to find him. We're trying to appease the Ueno Seiwa by handing him over. We have to find him somehow before they get their hands on him. Of course, if what you just said is true, I've been betting on the wrong horse. What's your connection with Arai anyway? I've been backing him out of personal interest. I'm not a mob friend or anything. Still, this whole thing's been a real kick in the sack. You'd imagine Arai-san would be in bed with Katsuragi. Do you have to put it that way, bud? Never pegged to... Okay. I never pegged him as the type to make a move like that. So what exactly was that call about? Hmm? Oh, that. Kido-chan was looking for Arai-san when he stumbled across the other Ueno-gun. You know, the one that disappeared after the shooting? There was another one? A guy named Mishima. He was sworn brothers with Ihara, the guy Arai ventilated downstairs. So what about him? He's asking for police protection. In exchange, he says he'll cough up all he knows. He wants the police. Oh. Well, Tanimura, I think it's time you step up. Yep, you're a perfect fit. I mean, based on what you said, the force sounds like a total snake pit. Plus, you can't count on Suguichi-san or your superiors. What better person than you? Or should I? Who knows? It might get you a step closer to the truth you're looking for. How do you figure? The recent shooting between the Ueno Seiwa clan and Kanimura Enterprises, right? I've got this hunch it's all connected to the case your old man was working back in 85. Yeah, there's too much overlap.
もしあの新井さんが裏でつながっていた葛城の命令であのドンパチ事件を作為的に起こしていたとしたら、
まあ葛城は柴田と共謀して登場会を乗っ取ろうとしていた。
そこにリリちゃんの殺人だ。葛城は共謀していたはずの柴田を裏切り、さらに25年前の事件の真相を知る人間を消そうとした強引なやり方でな。だがどうして今になってそこまでする必要があった？今までも殺そうと思えば殺せたはずだ。
Probably because it's closer to
なぜ今
Sajima's...
焦っていた。
そう。
Oh, I think it's because he knew Saejima would try to escape? I don't know.
なんとかして25年前のことを知る人間を殺す必要があった。どうしてだ？
指示されていたからか。葛城を裏で操っている人間に。
その人間ってのは
25年前の真実が公になってはならない人間。事件をもみ消そうとした警察の連中か。
そういうことになる。警察内部に裏切り者がいるってことだな。どうする？三島って男に会ってみる？その価値はあると思うけど。
ああ。俺が行こ だが罠を張る。
Yeah.
何それ？
その三島ってのが本当にあのドンパチ事件の生き残りなんだったら何か知ってる可能性もある。
まあそりゃそうだけど。
なら三島の存在は葛城だけじゃなく警察の裏切り者にとっても邪魔なはずだ。
なるほどね。わざと警察に三島との接触を報告して裏切り者をあぶり出すってことか。危険な賭けになるぞ。覚悟はできてんのか？
なあ、俺にとってこの山は自分の人生そのものなんだ。
Mishima's supposedly hiding over at the docks on Tokyo Bay. Your best bet is to take a taxi there. Unless, of course, you have a fancy cop car. Thanks for the advice. Now to report my next move to the station. Hi, this is Tanimura from Community Safety. Can I get someone in to organize crime, please? Reporting in. I just want to check in before I go meet with a Yakuza member named Mishima, material witness to that shooting in Kamurocho the other day. Meeting him over at the docks on Tokyo Bay. Yes, that's right. No, he's already there. Thank you. Bye. Yeah.
Oh.
Nice. Find him ASAP. Okay, between taxi driver and passengers onto Kaichi Street. Are we on Tenkaichi Street? Oh, look at that. It might be up ahead. We're not gonna go to the docks this stream. We're gonna do it another stream. Kamurocho man. Ouchies. Wow, you're so cool, Tanimura. Thank you. Not me knocking all these people down. Okay, let me find a save thing. Save thing. I think there's one down. Oh, there would be one closer. Excuse me. Did I see something shining over here? No. Okay. All right. So, boop boop. Let me change my thing here. All right. We will be playing. We will continue this next week. That's when our next Yakuza stream will be, and then Wednesday we will have our writing stream, and then on Friday we will have our Marvel Rival stream. I may actually do a couple of Gorilla streams playing what's it called? Playing Fields of Mystria. So yes, be on the lookout for that. I know I'm ending stream a bit early, but my throat hurts and I smell food, so I'm hungry. Okay, I will see you all on Wednesday. Bye bye.